In the heart of Tokyo's nightlife, there's a billion-yen industry built on fantasy, beautiful men in tailored suits, whispering sweet lies for a price. But behind the charm, the champagne, and the smiles, someone is always left broken. This isn't just about entertainment, it's about loneliness, obsession, and debt. So who really pays the price for Japan's most seductive illusion? Let's go deeper into the world of Japanese host clubs than anyone dares to go. The glittering fantasy. Step into the neon-lit streets of Kabukicho and you'll find another world, one that shimmers with designer suits, expensive champagne, and impossibly perfect smiles. Welcome to the world of Japan's host clubs, where men don't just flirt, they sell fantasy. For a few hours, they make you feel like the only person that matters. The illusion is beautiful and costly. Host clubs are like romantic theater, except the script is tailored to your deepest insecurities. The hosts, always perfectly styled, know exactly what to say, how to say it, and when to lock eyes. It's not about who they really are, it's about who you need them to be. And that's where things get complicated, when the illusion becomes more comforting than reality. Many people assume host clubs are just places to drink and flirt, but that barely scratches the surface. These clubs offer emotional attention with the polish of a luxury brand. Every compliment, every laugh, is a carefully calculated move designed to keep you coming back. It's less about the alcohol and more about the feeling of being seen, really seen for once. Some hosts are practically celebrities, with fans, social media followings, and women lining up to buy their time. There's glitz, fame, and money, but it's all built on performance. Behind every charming smile is someone trained to make you fall for them without ever getting too close. It's emotional intimacy just out of reach, like a mirage in the desert. But not everything that glitters is gold. While it may look like effortless charm on the surface, the whole industry thrives on emotional manipulation. Hosts learn to read people the way poker players read cards, gauging weakness, loneliness, desire. And just like a casino, the house always wins. The more you lose yourself, the more they profit. For some customers, it's harmless fun. For others, it becomes a lifestyle. A woman walks in for a night out and ends up emotionally attached to someone paid to care. And that's the hook, because once the feelings feel real, it doesn't matter that it's part of the job. The line between service and sincerity starts to blur in dangerous ways. It's easy to judge from the outside, but when you live in a world that often feels cold and distant, where connection is transactional anyway, maybe buying warmth doesn't seem that strange. Host clubs thrive in a society where emotional vulnerability is often suppressed. They offer what's missing: attention, affection, and validation, even if it's fake. But here's the real twist. Sometimes even the hosts forget it's an act. The job demands so much emotional energy that the performance bleeds into their real lives. Some get lost in their own roles, unsure if they're acting or actually feeling. And when the show ends, what's left? Just silence and maybe a touch of emptiness. So next time you see those bright lights and champagne bottles, remember, this is more than nightlife. It's a mirror reflecting Japan's emotional hunger, polished, packaged, and priced by the hour. It's dazzling, yes, but behind the glamour lies a carefully crafted illusion, one that keeps both sides wanting more and never quite satisfied. Emotional traps and escapism. Let's be real. People don't drop hundreds of dollars just to drink overpriced champagne. They come to host clubs because they want something deeper, something most of us crave but rarely admit. It's not about fun, it's about feeling wanted. And that's exactly what makes this world so magnetic and so dangerous. At first, it might feel harmless. You go once, have a few laughs, get doted on by someone who actually listens. It feels nice. Someone is finally paying attention, remembering details about you, treating you like you matter. In a fast-paced world that barely pauses for a text back, that kind of attention can feel intoxicating. The trick is, it is intoxicating, like emotional alcohol. The more you taste, the more you crave. Hosts are trained to pick up on your emotional weak points. If you're lonely, they'll become your comfort. If you need confidence, they'll boost your ego. And before you know it, a night of fun turns into a routine. Many women who frequent host clubs aren't just looking for a good time. They're looking for connection. Some are successful professionals, others are emotionally neglected at home. Some even work in nightlife themselves. What they have in common is a need to feel loved, even if they have to buy that feeling. And it does feel real. That's the dangerous part. The laughter, the gentle touches, the way a host remembers your dog's name. It blurs the line between business and romance. You start to think, maybe he really likes me. But behind every smile is a sales target. Behind every "I missed you" is a strategy. This is where escapism becomes a trap. You're not just escaping stress, you're escaping reality. The club becomes your safe space, your emotional bubble. Outside, the world is cold and isolating. Inside, it's warm and flattering. And if you feel broken, the club promises to put you back together at a price. Some women visit multiple times a week, building emotional ties with a host. The club becomes their second home, and the host, their emotional partner. But it's all one-sided. The moment you stop spending, the attention fades. And that cut, that sudden silence, it hurts more than you'd expect. It's not love, but it feels like it. And for people battling loneliness, that feeling is enough to get hooked. Host clubs don't just sell alcohol. They sell affection, admiration, and the illusion of romance. And when that becomes your emotional lifeline, it's nearly impossible to let go. In a society where emotional needs are rarely addressed openly, places like host clubs thrive. They don't solve the loneliness, they mask it beautifully. But when the illusion wears off, the emptiness remains. And the real question becomes, what are we really chasing and what are we running from? The debt spiral. So we've talked about emotional addiction, but now let's talk about the price, literally, because in host clubs, attention isn't free. Every compliment, every glass raised, every extra second with your favorite host has a number attached to it. And for some women, that number keeps climbing until it swallows them whole. It starts small, a drink here, a little extra time there. You want to impress your host, maybe rise up the favorite customer rankings. So you buy that champagne tower. Why not? It makes him smile. And in that moment, it feels like love. But love isn't what you're buying. You're buying minutes, fake memories, and the illusion of intimacy. Most hosts work on commission. The more you spend, the more they earn. So naturally, the more emotionally attached you become, the more incentive they have to encourage you to spend. It's not always malicious, it's their job. But when emotions and money mix, the result is often heartbreak and overdraft notices. Some clients drop thousands in a single night, and many aren't rich. In fact, a lot of regulars work in bars or hostess clubs themselves, recycling their own earnings to support their favorite host. It becomes a loop. Earn money by selling fantasy, then spend it on someone else's fantasy. A strange, sad economy of affection. Over time, the spending turns into a kind of competition. You're not just buying time, you're buying status. Clients want to be the number one, the one he posts about, the one he thanks at the end of the night. It's like a toxic version of The Bachelor, except the roses cost $100,000 each. And when the money runs out, that's when the pain really starts. Some women take out loans, others borrow from friends, and some even fall into shady lending schemes to keep the fantasy alive. It's no longer about love, it's survival, because walking away means admitting it was all fake. And that's a tough pill to swallow. Hosts too are under pressure. They have monthly quotas. If they don't hit them, they lose rank or even their job. So they push, flatter, manipulate, sometimes without even realizing it. Their livelihood depends on your emotional vulnerability. It's a system that rewards emotional exploitation, dressed up in charm and hair wax. Of course, Not every woman goes broke. Some know the game and play it with open eyes, but for those who fall too deep, the financial ruin becomes devastating. And the worst part, there's rarely anyone to talk to. No one wants to admit they spent their savings on someone who never loved them back. So in the end, the true cost isn't just money, it's self-worth, it's trust. It's waking up one day and realizing you poured your heart and bank account into a fantasy that was never meant to last. And the debt that lingers isn't just financial, it's emotional. The host's hidden struggles. We often see the hosts as confident, charming, always in control, but behind the suits, there's another story, one that doesn't get told when the lights are on. Because being a host isn't just about drinking and flirting. It's about surviving in a business that eats you alive, one bottle of champagne at a time. Most hosts work exhausting hours, often from late evening until sunrise. And no, it's not all fun. They're constantly performing, entertaining multiple clients at once, and juggling emotional dynamics like circus acts. Imagine trying to be everyone's dream boyfriend. Every single night, it wears you down. Physically, the job is brutal. Many hosts don't eat properly, live on convenient store food, and smoke to stay awake. Alcohol? It's practically a job requirement. They drink constantly, even when they don't want to, just to keep the party going. That takes a toll on the body, fast. Livers don't lie. Emotionally, it's even worse. You have to be emotionally available, but never too real. Show just enough vulnerability to build trust, but never let your guard down. It's like walking a tightrope in a hurricane. Every compliment, every laugh, it's part of a role. And sometimes they forget where the act ends and they begin. Many hosts live with immense pressure. They have monthly quotas, rivalries with other hosts, and the fear of being replaced by someone younger or flashier. If they can't perform, they're out. There's always someone else ready to take their place. The competition is fierce and lonely. And don't forget, a lot of hosts come from tough backgrounds. Some are high school dropouts, others escaped broken homes. For many, the host world was a chance at success, a way to finally be admired. But that admiration is shallow and fleeting. When you're off the clock, nobody claps, nobody cares. Mental health struggles are common. Depression, anxiety, burnout, they're all part of the job. But there's no real space to talk about it. Vulnerability isn't profitable. You're expected to be cool, flirty, and endlessly energetic. Crying in the bathroom between clients, that's just part of the grind. There are hosts who genuinely care about their clients, but even they get trapped in the system. They want to help, to be honest, but the business doesn't reward honesty, it rewards fantasy, and that conflict eats away at them. You start as a person, you become a persona. Eventually, you forget which one you are. So next time you see a perfectly dressed host flashing a charming smile, remember, behind that mask is a human being under pressure, maybe barely holding it together. The host world may look glamorous, but for many inside it, it's a beautiful prison with no doors, just mirrors. A toxic cycle of illusion. Let's not pretend this is a one-sided con. Host clubs aren't just tricking people. Clients want to believe. It's a two-way performance, a quiet agreement. You'll act like you love me, and I'll pretend it's real. But this kind of illusion, it's addictive, and both sides pay the price. Clients come in lonely, stressed, or just needing someone to look at them like they matter. Hosts deliver that fantasy, but to do it well, they have to suppress their real feelings. Day after day, night after night, they become someone else. Someone more desirable, someone always on. It's not just about faking love, it's about faking connection. And the more real it feels, the harder it is to walk away. Some clients even know it's all a performance, but still come back. Why? Because even fake affection can feel better than none at all. The heart doesn't care if it's scripted, it just wants to be seen. On the flip side, hosts start to blur lines too. Some grow attached, others start feeling guilty. But admitting it's a game breaks the spell, and no one wants to be the one who says, "This isn't real." So they keep playing, keep smiling, and keep collecting the emotional currency of desire. It becomes a cycle. The more the client spends, the more the host showers them with affection. The more affection they receive, the more they want to spend. It feeds itself. But underneath the surface, there's confusion, jealousy, emotional manipulation, and sometimes even obsession. This system doesn't allow for honesty. If a host truly cares, they can't say it without ruining the business. If a client falls in love, they can't act on it without risking rejection. So everyone just pretends. They play their parts until someone breaks character and everything collapses. What's wild is how normalized this is in the culture around nightlife. Everyone knows the game, but no one talks about what it does to people. You're praised for spending, admired for ranking, but no one asks, "Are you okay?" Because in this world, vulnerability is a liability. It's easy to judge from the outside. Why would anyone fall for this? But ask yourself, have you ever wanted something so badly you were willing to ignore the red flags just to feel good? That's what this is. It's not stupidity, it's emotional survival, loneliness dressed in luxury. So the illusion stays intact. Hosts keep smiling, clients keep coming back, and both sides in their own way keep hurting. Because once you step into that fantasy, it's hard to remember what real even feels like. Who really pays the price? At the end of the night, when the last glass is emptied and the music dies down, reality creeps back in. The club lights fade, the suit comes off, and the characters disappear. What's left behind isn't just hangovers and receipts. It's the emotional wreckage nobody wants to talk about. For the clients, the aftermath can be brutal. Some return home to empty apartments, partners who don't understand them, or lives that feel dull in comparison to the high of the club. It's like crashing after a sugar rush, except the crash hits your self-worth, not your blood sugar. For some, that emotional crash leads to serious consequences: depression, debt, broken relationships. They might look composed on the outside, but inside, they're carrying the weight of feelings that were never real, yet still felt real. And how do you grieve a relationship that never really existed? And what about the hosts? The moment they stop selling the fantasy, they're forgotten. A newer, shinier face takes their spot. It's not about who you are, it's about what you can sell. And when you're no longer profitable, you disappear. That kind of disposability leaves scars, even if no one sees them. Some ex-hosts struggle to adapt to regular life. Their skills, charm, empathy, reading people don't always translate well outside of the club. And the emotional toll of years spent living as someone else often leaves them detached, cynical, or simply exhausted. They gave too much for too little in return. Or there's also a broader cost. One society pays without noticing. When real connection becomes so rare that people turn to scripted affection, something's broken. It says a lot about the emotional hunger lurking beneath Japan's polished surface. A hunger that no drink or fake romance can ever truly satisfy. Host culture isn't just nightlife. It's a mirror. It reflects a deep societal loneliness where people are willing to pay anything just to be seen, heard, touched. The price tag on that need keeps rising. And while some profit, many quietly fall apart behind closed doors. This isn't just a Japanese problem, by the way. All over the world, people are trading money for moments of connection, whether through apps, subscriptions, or services. But host clubs make it impossible to ignore. They put a price tag on love. And once love has a price, someone always ends up paying more than they can afford. So who really pays the price? Everyone, the client chasing love, the host faking affection, a culture that praises the illusion while punishing vulnerability. It's a cycle that keeps spinning, beautiful, tragic, and painfully human. If this opened your eyes, don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts below. I'd love to hear what you think about this side of Japan most people never see. Subscribe for more stories that dig deeper than the surface.